Hey guys, welcome back. So in the last few videos, we talked about what is hashing, why we need it, what are the different collision resolution techniques, etc. Hope the idea was clear. In case if you have any doubt, please let us know via Q&A section and we will get back to you. Fine. In this video, we are going to talk about what are the practical uses of hashing. So one of the places where hashing is heavily used is password verification on servers. So whenever we enter our password in any website, say for example Gmail, all it does is it takes our password, converts it into a hash value and saves it in its server. So the next time when we want to log into our same account, we give our password and server converts our password into a hash value and checks if the same hash value is saved in their database. If it is, then it allows us to log into our account, else it does not. So let's quickly understand it using a diagram. Now let's say this is our personal computer and this is Facebook server. Now let's imagine a scenario where we want to access Facebook from our personal computer. Now as soon as we give the username and password to access our Facebook account, let's say abc@blah.com and password is 123456. Now Facebook server has two options. Option 1 is to save the password as it is, that is 123456. Now the problem in this case is that by any chance if Facebook server gets hacked, the hacker will have information of all your passwords, which will be disastrous. So how do we overcome that problem? So to overcome that problem, hashing comes in picture. So all that we have to do is, instead of storing the actual password, which is 123456, we apply a hash function to that password and find out a hash value, and then we can save that hash value into server instead of the actual password. Now the advantage of using this is that even if the server gets hacked, the hacker will get access only to these hash values, which will be of no use to him, because a hash function is a one-way traffic. That is, we can only get a hash value from key, but we cannot find out the key using a hash value. So the hacker will never be able to access what is the actual password of the user. Hence it will be comparatively secure. Now one more important thing to know here is, how will server authenticate the user ID and password? So it's very simple. So if our password is say 123456, server will store the hash value of it, which is this. So the next time when we want to access our Facebook account from any computer, when we give this password 123456, all that the server does is it converts it into hash value and find out if that hash value is same as this hash value or not. If it is, then we are granted the access to our Facebook account, else we get an error. So you see that the technique of hashing is so simply used in password authentication, but in return it makes our application way more secure from those bad eyes. Okay, now let's move on to the next example. So the next practical use of hashing is our file system. So let's understand it using a diagram. Now let's imagine that we have 4 files in our temp folder under C directory, and on the other hand we have a hard disk. Now have you ever wondered that how the system knows that these 4 files are stored in which of these cylinders? And again, within this cylinder, which of the sector or track is this file stored? So is it stored in this sector or is it stored in this sector? So the answer is very simple. System once again uses the concept of hashing to solve this problem. All it does is it thinks this location, that is c/temp/part1.ipt, as a key and applies a hash function to it and arrives at a hash value and uses that hash value to store the physical location of that file onto the hard disk. Say for example, after applying a hash function to this key, it returns a hash value of 2. So all that we do here is we save the file name, which is c/temp/part1.ipt, and we also save the physical location of this file on the hard disk, which might look like this, that is cylinder number 5, track 8 and sector 2. So next time when we want to know the physical location of a given file, all that we have to do is we apply the hash function to that string location and get our hash value. Now once we have our hash value, we come to the hash table and find the physical location of the file. So one important thing to note here is that the actual implementation of it is comparatively complex, but the basic remains same. So please don't assume that your operating system does exactly the same like this, but the core logic will definitely be same. So with this, we come to end of this video. In the next video, we are going to talk about the pros and cons of hashing, and we'll also compare hashing with other data structures like array, linked list tree, etc. Thanks for your time. See you in the next video.